Hello and welcome to your tarot reading. We are going to do some oracle for you today, and we're going to mix in the tarot. First card, seek the wisdom of your shamanic guides. And ashes of despair or arise from the ashes of despair. So we are coming out of this full moon in Scorpio, and that has to do with the phoenix rising out of the ashes, which means that a lot of people go through a lot with Scorpio full moon. To me, it felt very much like an eclipse energy or a big energy that came in to shift things in our lives. So this is a collective reading, and if this message finds you, this is a message for you. We are going to use the Wildwood Tarot to get you a message. So that shuffle didn't want to intertwine with the other cards. So I feel like you may be feeling blocks like that with people right now. Feels like there's a flow or something that is coming in, but it's not here. And this can be regarding a relationship, so, or a person. We get the King of Vessels here, and this is a special person. This is someone that you have a lot of feelings for. The King of Vessels, it's just depicted here by a, a bird, and he's got his feet in the water, meaning that there's a lot of emotions here. You're tied to this because of emotions. And then you've got the links over here, which means that somebody is spying, somebody is watching. All right, we're going to get more on this person. Feel like it's the same person. We'll get a few messages from them in a minute of what they want to say, but I want to pick up on the energy first. So two cards, and those cards fell. When cards fall like that, to me, there's meaning behind that. And maybe this is you were invested in something, you were invested in this connection, and all of a sudden, things fell like to the ground, to the floor, maybe your feelings, um, there's shock to this. There's also there is a decision. We get the Two of Swords with the Ten of Cups. So maybe there was a plan, there was things in flow, and then all of a sudden there was a block. And this had to do, I feel like, with a person, this person that you're invested in, they have one foot in and one foot out, but they're watching you and they're intently watching you. So there's seek the wisdom of the shamanic guide here card, which means that you don't understand what happened. And perhaps you're consulting people, guidance through tarot. Perhaps you're talking to somebody about this because you could tell this woman has her hand over her heart and it's like her heart hurts, but also she's got her hand over her stomach. And to me, that says that there's a lot of anxiety around this situation in the way that it just kind of dropped, like your heart probably dropped. And there's some dogs here in the picture, and the dogs have to do with somebody that might have been a very loyal person, or this is how you saw them. And all of a sudden, you don't see them this way because of a decision that you felt blinded by. Like this blinds this came from nowhere. It came out of nowhere. Like maybe there was not even a fight or an argument or anything that led up to this. Like this was way overdone, perhaps. This was something that also you didn't see coming. Okay. The devil. So this person got sidetracked. We can call it that, okay, until we get more information. But I feel that there's a few scenarios here, but your person could have been dabbling in another connection with someone else, or they may have been with you because you are a very caring person. You have a lot to offer, especially emotionally. This person saw that and they really craved that connection from a person, like that attention, the affection, the way that you made them feel, the love that you had to give and offer freely and without any attachments. Like there was nothing tied to that. You were very genuine in the connection. And I feel that the other person that you're dealing with may not be so connected in with themselves. And therefore, this is a person that is always studying you, studying the way you are to get a reaction, but they also love that you are that way, that you have so much of this genuine energy. And it's like they didn't have to try to get something out of you. It was always sort of freely given, but it was also the way you were. I feel like this person is used to dealing with people that are not as genuine. They're not as honest. And I'm getting a vibe of this person in this devil energy and the way they're sort of presenting that they're in a darker energy themselves, and so they attract this darker energy. And so meeting you was very different for them. So this is also a person, though, that likes to, I don't know if it's take advantage of people as much as it is getting attention from people. And I feel that there was something about you, there was something about the way that you, it was like, for example, if they went to give a friend a hug, and this is kind of the way they are, they like to hug their friends when they see them. And when they hugged a person, it was just like, kind of a tap on the back and a quick hug and, good to see you. But when they hugged you, they actually felt that you were hugging them back and they could feel that energy that um and for a lot of you guys you had a true connection. So you're a true person, but you also had a true connection with this person. You might have been a teacher to them. So you were teaching them what falsehood looks like and what a genuine person looks like, somebody that is true in who they say they are. And and again, this person is not used to that sort of that type of person, and they're not used to dealing with this close of a connection. Okay, so what else with the devil card? So this person is showing up as the devil card and the fool card. So with the fool card, we know that that represents somebody that sort of bailed. They bailed in a lot of ways. But this to me seems like when you're at a party and everybody's drinking. So you're at a club and everybody's drinking and you're the only one that's sober, and it's annoying to be around all these drunk people because you're very much feeling everything without the effects of alcohol. This person, I feel, is under the effects of something, like it could be under the influence of alcohol, under the influence of drugs, and they're also influenced by people because the the devil card shows me that there's the wand of the devil, and of course he's got the power because he understands humanity, and he understands how to sort of trap someone in some situation. And here he's burning this person's tail. And so I feel that there's a connection. There's also in the card a connection to another person. And it feels like this person is very much controlled by a situation or a person that they may have led you on to believe they were more independent than they were, but they're not. They're very controlled. And so I feel like when this person left, they are that person that is drinking and perhaps struggling, or they're in the presence of a lot of people, and so they're not like alone to be with their feelings like you are over here. I feel like you, on the other hand, are very much, again, you were true to this, but you were invested emotionally speaking, and so you're having to process this decision, and maybe for this person, it was something that they had already planned it out. I think that you're dealing with somebody that's calculative. So this might have been something that they had time to process because they were the ones that were sort of in control of this. But for you, you're catching up with that, having to process a situation. However, I feel that again, when we're dealing with the full moon in Scorpio, these are things that are hidden, things that are unseen, things that come to light. And also, if you're having to deal with something and someone and, the consequences of someone's actions, they're also going to have to deal with that on the other side. So there's the Nine of Swords, and I feel like sometimes people process things different, or they use different things to have to or to numb or to bury something, to not think about it. But in this situation, we saw at the beginning that they were invested emotionally too. So it wasn't just you. So I feel like for a lot of you, you question that because you probably, in true integrity, could never do something like this to a person unless, like, perhaps you weren't um, invested in it emotionally, like you didn't really truly love this person. And you know that you did, and so you question like if they did, because again, you couldn't do this to this person, but they did. So you get the Nine of Swords over here for them. So I feel like that's telling you, be reassured by this, that this is a two-way street, in the sense that both of you will experience the effects or the consequences of an action or decision. So the other card that came up is the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords has to do with external battles. So people that perhaps this was a situation where somebody ran to somebody. We all know how people sort of operate in relationships and how people have certain patterns. And one of those things for a runner is to run to another person to get this comfort, to get this love, to get this attention, to get this affection from another in your absence. And then it's easier to say, and to say, I'm over this situation. And also to, it was like they had to feel good about what they did because they're not feeling good about what they did. Yeah, they're having maybe dreams about you, maybe dreams about their sort of worst um, fear of you, which might have been you moving on. So maybe what they did to you is coming back to them in a dream. Like it might have been their biggest nightmare, this dream of you moving on with somebody else. And so they're very conflicted. So maybe this person that they ran to, I don't know, it doesn't show me if it's a a sexual connection per se, but it feels like it's an emotional connection. So either way, there's the loyalty that's broken, and um there is the the decision of betrayal that was made, and so there is the consequence of an action. So I feel that that person, and there might be more than one. So this person may have an energy of giving little bits to others, but they're like planting a lot of seeds where you had planted all your seeds in this pot and they were dispersing theirs and investing with all these other people. And so again, I don't know what that looks like because obviously it's going to be different. This is a collective reading, but nonetheless, there was other people involved that were getting this person's attention and giving them their attention. So I feel that those people, a lot of truth comes out during Scorpio full moon. A lot of things are seen for what they are, right? And people are seen for what they are too. And so I feel that there might have been a conflict outside of this, and it makes me think of the grass is greener because you see also that the the devil in the full card and the Nine of Swords, that center card is the full card, and it's a very bright, like there's a lot of sun in the card, and the other cards are very dark. In fact, they're black cards. So this person may have thought that these sort of superficial connections or relationships that they were somewhat invested in, again, I feel like it's more of an emotional investment, that the other person, there was on the other side of that, because these people, again, remember, they attract what they are. So it feels to me like a user type of energy. So maybe um, they went to a person to try and get something back, maybe some kind of, um, they wanted a connection. They wanted to feel your absence, and they wanted to try and replace that with somebody else's, if it's a friendship. But this person, the conflict card comes up. This person wasn't there for them. There was some kind of true colors that were seen. It didn't go in their favor. And see the Tower card. So the Tower card also, when it came out over that Lynx card. So it goes back to this person isn't doing it for them. You are the person that they love, that they're connected to, that they want your affection and love and connection. and they're not getting it. And so this was like a temporary sort of fix, just like alcohol would be or drugs. And then when it wears off, you have to deal with how you feel. And I feel that this person is used to doing this, but right now, universe is making them feel like if it's keeping them up at night, they're not sleeping. If it's having really bad dreams, they're like not wanting to go back to sleep. And so they're off. They're off because they're probably tired. They're exhausted, in fact. And then I feel like they're going back to look at you, and your energy is very absent from their if it's the spine, if they're doing spine, they either can't pick up on your energy or there's something that will make them sort of spiral in some way that really triggers something inside of them. So maybe they saw a dream, or sorry, in a dream that or nightmare that they had, you were with another person and they go on your profile and somehow that's reinforced to them. So these kinds of dreams that they're having are very real in their reality, or their reality feels their dreams feel like their reality. Because it is. They're living this sort of nightmare now because you're not there. Let me see. They made a choice that led to this. It created, so the Magician in reverse. So that's the number one card of the major arcanas. Also, notice that the major arcanas are all life changes, so big life changes, right? When they come up, and this card talks about creating something with a person, but this person broke that. We're going to say they broke the contract. And so what was manifested between you guys, I want to say like the love, they were trying to maybe get that same love from somebody else. They were trying to maybe either mimic or recreate or think that it would feel the same if they just went somewhere else. And I feel that a lot of this has to do with a feeling of when you guys were in a relationship, um, there was some feeling that they were having. This is the card that comes up of this is arise from the ashes of despair. So there was some feeling for them of being either depressed, maybe for some, maybe they have chronic depression. Maybe they're bipolar, and so they go up and down. But it was something that was not regulated. They were also aware of it, but perhaps this was something that was talked about with the two of you, and they were going to seek some counseling or help, and they never did. Like they promised they would, but they didn't. And so you're dealing with a person that has some underlying issue that was coming up that maybe triggered their decision. So I feel like their decision wasn't because of you, but maybe they were projecting that on you. Maybe them feeling like really depressed, they thought, well, it's this relationship. This relationship is making me feel depressed. But in reality, it's that they have an imbalance chemically speaking in their brain, and it had nothing to do with you. It had to do that with them not wanting, excuse me, to face this illness, this mental illness, and not get help for it, not see somebody about it. Um, and I also feel that a lot of it had to do with the darkness. When I feel into that, um, I think that some of this had to do with their upbringing. So childhood wounding that like really would weigh on them at times. Um, and then some of it also had to do with these bad habits. So the devil card is bad habits that a person like gives into indulgence. So perhaps they didn't know how to say no. They didn't have boundaries. So for example, if they knew that like eating something bad, yeah, they were like not feeling good about themselves to begin with, was going to make it worse, but they gave into that, and then they would gain weight, not feel good about themselves. So it was something that this person was doing, and maybe together, like it was comfortable, and so that was the way it was. Something this person was doing, not your connection per se, was creating this. This is an underlying for this person. Okay. What other energy? So messages, so I feel that I was also talking about the full moon and maybe somebody having to process things really quickly. Like you're gone, you're not there. If it was another person or something else that they went to. Again, the grass is greener, and you fill that in with whatever scenario is going on. And I could read into it. I don't know that we need to. I feel like whatever that was sort of proven to them not to be what they thought it was. And so they're back at square one with having to deal with these emotions. But again, with this full moon, a lot of people were processing and just like taken down. Like you literally probably couldn't even um, get out of bed like early if you wanted to because you were so exhausted, and you had to think about things, like really think about things, like sit with yourself and think about things. So I feel that this person may be reaching out to you to talk to you about their maybe their involvement in where you guys are at. So to be honest about it. But we also see under that card that we have this Queen of Vessels. Oh, that's interesting. The King and the Queen. So this is a soulmate to you. So if you're asking, like, if this person loves you, it's a soulmate connection. So it almost doesn't matter what they say, or it almost doesn't matter if they even understand what love is. They feel what you feel. They may compute it a different way, process it a different way. They may run from love. They may be an avoidant. Um, and they may feel right now like there's swimming like they're going against the current. And it's like they're running out of air. They're not able to survive in this. They're very depleted emotionally. They didn't realize like how strong of a connection this was. And so the card under that is the blasted oak. So this person that like fell out of a tree and is about to hit their head, um, or they're about to fall in a hole, one of the two. But they have fire all around them. And so this fire is like burning them. And it's very desolate in the card where they're at too. And what it shows is this lightning, thunder energy coming through. And if they were hiding in a tree, the branch breaks or the tree is struck by lightning. And they're actually struck by lightning because they're the ones on fire, but the tree too is the branch broke, and so they fall out of the tree, and again, they don't know what they're falling into. I think that for a lot of these people, they're gonna fall into despair. They're gonna fall into hopelessness. They've gotten themselves into a situation that feels like hell. I'm gonna say that. Under that is the Queen of Stone. And it's a bear coming out of a cave. So a situation that they walked into, this would be like if somebody walked into a cave, maybe to get um, refuge if they're out in the wilderness and they're met by a bear. Obviously, your life is threatened, and this is the worst case scenario. And so this person went somewhere for refuge, and this bear, like the true nature of a situation on both sides was seen. So they're dealing with things from both sides. But in actuality, I feel like your person is dealing with a lot more than that because this involves all of them. Like you see the burning of the body. And I think that perhaps because this is, again, a soulmate couple, for some of you, it could be twin flame too. But regardless, it's your, I think, okay, we'll say soulmate energy. You're a teacher in this scenario at this moment in time to this person of karma and the face of karma on the other side. And nobody can teach you that actual lesson but karma, right? And so that's what they're having to face, this side of karma that they've never experienced before, the taking away of love, like when it no longer um, belongs to you. It almost feels like you were freely giving to this person and it was taken for granted. But but now again on the other side of it, it feels very different when somebody just all of a sudden cuts something off without there being a conversation about it, perhaps without there being like a actual, like if it's a tower moment that happens for people, usually you it's a progress of something. It's something that both people are aware of. Here, I feel like there was a person that made a decision, and it was you that was surprised. And like at the beginning where the cards fell to the floor, I feel like that's what happened to your heart. But now on the other side of it, this person is dealing with this. And I feel that for a lot of you guys, because of the burning body, you might be sending this person into like a spiritual journey. Like this may be their awakening. And again, we start with the arise from the ashes of despair card. So this might be somebody's like hitting rock bottom and um there's the Two of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So I feel, again, that is just saying, in the Wheel of Fortune, that somebody is on the other side of this now. So this card, this deck, excuse me, is going to give us a message. If you want to hear what this person has to say, what card, what message does this person have? You know what? That's funny. There is no card that wants to come out. And I think that this person does not know what to say to you. And that's why they're watching you because they had no idea they were going to feel this way. They had no idea they were going to feel this way. If I could tell you one thing, I would tell you how special you are. Okay. So, well, there you go. And then one love oracle for this reading. What is the message? Soulmate. So this person is a soulmate to you. And then time. You are trying too hard to give it time and transformation. I feel like this person needs to go through a transformation. Your relationship with one another is about to deepen. Love conquers and transforms all things. So there's the message. And soulmate, your soulmate is already with you in spirit. Believe this and they will manifest physically. So I think that also for a lot of you, it may be time for you, if you were having like a physical connection with the person, um, to have a a spiritual connection with them. So this connection may deepen and you may start going into this connection with this person that is more on a 5D or spiritual level, and it may deepen for you in that way. Maybe this person needs to go through this transformation. So they have to be in isolation to go through this transformation. And so Spirit has come in, Universe has come in, and um, had you part ways for the time being. But to me, it looks like in this moment of time that this break is needed and that time will tell, and I feel like you will be getting a lot of messages about this person. Like the messages are coming in, the energy's coming in. It's sort of flowing in that way, but there is a lot that is going on with the other person internally. Because I feel that also one thing that happened to them when you left, they saw that you're not the problem, that this problem, or maybe mental illness actually, or the healing belongs to them. And so they're always going to feel that if they don't heal, their their wounding. They need to do some healing, or maybe they need to consult a therapist. So that's the reading. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please do remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, take care.